Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Thank you for joining the live chat session. Two topics for today's live chat. Let me greet the participants, then a roundup of these two topics for you. Alim Gizao, a member, first one to comment today. How are you, Alim? John Spencer here too. Hello, John. Are you Eritrean, John? Liz Elias from Tigray. How are you, Liz? Nahom Architects from Addis Ababa. Daniel Abate, my long-time friend. Daniel is very interested in topics about Tigray, I believe, Daniel, if I'm not wrong. But you're not from Tigray, I know that. Not now, you're not in Tigray now. You are based abroad, I think. Good to see you, Daniel. Mesfin K here, Tigray, Valala. What's Abi doing in Kenya? Okay, I'll reply. Maba Emba says hi, Sajid. Average Dom here. Don E is calling me Nbisau Sajid. Now I'll have to look for the meaning of Nbisau. Yeah, Daniel, rain in Addis becoming difficult. What dead so far? Zariat Abraha says, hello Pakistani businessman still profiting from Eritrean Ethiopia. Well, I'm not earning anything from Eritrean Ethiopia, Zari. I earn not a single penny from these two countries. But people do benefit from my views and news. People like you who criticize me, but they wait for my videos, they watch, and still they have trust in my reporting. But in terms of money, I am not earning anything from Ethiopia, from Eritrea. Average Dom here. John Spencer is Eritrean, so my guess was correct. You see that through these live chats, I'm starting to remember people, how they are, from where they are, what is their background. That is why these live chats matter a lot for me. Yeezy Haq joined too. Thank you, Daniel, for confirming that. Zakir Naik. Kamiye, how are you, my man? What is the meaning of Kamiye? IT skill for all says his name is fallen from Addis Ababa. Darni says it means lion. Lion, I think the word for lion is Ambissa, if I'm not wrong, because there's a bank by the name of Ambissa and Visa. You wrote something else, I think. Lilo here too. Lilo says, hi Sajid, I would like to thank you for your source I know during Tigray 2 years. Thank you, Lilo. Every Dom says Ruto is uniting African heads of state. No, it's not about Ruto. The meeting there was about international summit. Peace and love here too. No, you did not miss anything. Peace and love. We just into the live chat. Emba says, I have a question. Why Europeans started denying issuing visas? Okay, I'll respond to it. Kamiye means, how are you in Tigrania? Zakir says, oh, Kamiye, Kamiye, okay. It means hi. Uh, just two quick replies, then round up. One was asking about what is Abe doing there in Kenya, and that Ruto is uniting Africa. Well, the meeting there is being held. It's a summit by Development Association, International Development Association, IDA. IDA is part of World Bank. So you can say it's a World Bank conference about likely recipients. All are likely recipients. They want to get money from World Bank in the form of loans, grants. By the way, why do people go to World Bank, IMF countries? Why do they go to these institutions for loans? While we criticize them that these IMF, World Bank, international institutions, they capture economies and that when economies come under their control, countries are destroyed. IMF, World Bank give loans with very low interest rate, very low markups, around 0.1%. So other international institutions, other banking institutions, they don't give loans on such low interest rate. That is why everyone wants to get loans from IMF and World Bank. But since they want to ensure recovery as well, they know that the countries might go bankrupt. That is why they plan the entire economy. They decide how to take their money back from its sectors of economy. So entire economy in a way comes under their control. But that is how they get their money back. So the summit in Kenya was a World Bank summit, one day summit, I think. Imabi was there, other African leaders were there too. This summit is part of efforts by the World Bank to identify the countries which are in need of low interest loans, grants, and other forms of financial support. That is what Abiy was there for. Ruto, can we say he's uniting Africa? No, it had nothing to do with Ruto. But Ruto's Kenya is emerging as the center of Horn of Africa and East Africa. Ethiopia has lost that place which it had, though it still cede to African Union. But you see that major international summits are being held in Kenya. Whether it is about climate change or World Bank summit or others, EU countries, US are giving preference to Kenya. Obviously, Kenya more stable than Ethiopia, more democratic than Ethiopia, better human rights record than Ethiopia. So Kenya has an edge over Ethiopia. Ethiopia has lost its regional significance. Kenya is now at a better position. So it's not about Ruto's efforts. International community is giving preference to Kenya. So there are two main centers of power in this part of the world: Horn of Africa, East Africa. Kenya, Ethiopia fighting for dominance, and Kenya seems to be excelling these days. Now, two main topics for today's live chat. Firstly, Temesgen Tiruneh spoke around Shafo. Well joined to welcome Shafo. Shafo is a member too. Special welcome to you, Shafo. Thank you for joining. Ethiopian Pearl of Red Sea here too. He says, hello, King of News. Thank you. I hope you won't add any word in this comment. People, some Eritreans say you are king of fake news. Two main topics. Firstly, Temesgen Tiruneh spoke when he visited Amhara region 2 days ago. What did he say? Tigrayan sources, news sources are reporting as if Temesgen Tiruneh threatened Tigray, threatened to declare war on Tigray. What did he say? Secondly, TPLF, divisions within the party, confirmation coming from a party leader. An interview which was aired 2 days ago. I got its translation now. I'm sharing it with you. Before that, a quick response to a viewer who commented about EU restrictions. EU announced new restrictions today on Ethiopians seeking to get visas to EU countries. Now, Ethiopians will find it difficult to get Kenyan visas, other EU country visas. Why? Because EU countries want to deport Ethiopian migrants illegally residing there. Talks have been ongoing between Ethiopia and the EU. Ethiopia is not very flexible. It has not been very supportive of EU proposals about the return of these migrants. By the way, Ethiopia is very responsive to Saudi Arabian offers, Saudi Arabian proposals to repatriate Ethiopians, and Ethiopians are being repatriated from Saudi Arabia. If you know, special flight operation has been launched. I have no verified information, but I think Saudis pay to Ethiopia. They pay they pay all the expenses for the return of Ethiopian illegally residing migrants in Saudi Arabia, and they pay to Ethiopian government. That is what I believe. Maybe the offer from the EU is not very attractive for Ethiopian government. That is why Ethiopia does not want to. And once Ethiopia starts taking its people from Europe, it won't end. That is why Ethiopia is not showing flexibility, and talks have been held, no agreement reached. That is why EU is now putting more pressure by denying visa to Ethiopians. Hero says, Ethiopian Airlines is engaged in smuggling illicit weapons and mercenaries. It should be banned. Well, I did a video told you about secret flight of Ethiopian Airlines with Wagner fighters on board. The flight landed in Chad. It is reported by Chadian news source. Is it a violation of international law? I don't know. People say that only transport of weapons is a violation of international law. I don't know. But mostly when airlines are sanctioned, they are sanctioned because of their role in supply of weapons. If weapons were not on board, maybe it would be difficult to talk of sanctions on Ethiopian Airlines. But why should Ethiopian Airlines become part of such conflict? Why should it be controversial? It's a profit making entity for Ethiopia. Ethiopia should keep Ethiopian Airlines free from such controversial issues, I think, because it is one of those institutions in Ethiopia which is earning money, lots of money. Mulki joined too. Welcome back, Mulki. Where have you been? Dani says it's business. No, Dani, you should be very careful when it comes to protecting your image. Airlines should ensure that their image is not tarnished. They shouldn't be part of any controversial moves. Business means impartiality. Business means no role in any controversial issue. That is what business is. Otherwise, if you become controversial, your business can go down. Mulk has been very busy. Okay, good to see you. Good to hear from you, Mulki. What is going on with Ola? I'll let you know once there is an important development. Let's start, viewers. Temesgen Tiruneh, what did he say? Who is Temesgen Tiruneh? Temesgen is Deputy Prime Minister. Lilo says, do you think European decision will have impact on Ethiopian migrants? Well, Ethiopian migrants risk their lives to reach Europe, Eritreans as well, Somalis too. So it won't stop them. But Ethiopian government will have to show some flexibility. EU has leverage to put more pressure upon Ethiopian government. Temesgen Tiruneh is Deputy Prime Minister of Ethiopia. He's from the Amhara region. Amhara, I think. I think he's from Gocham, if I'm not wrong. And the man has been in charge of operation against Fano fighters. He was in charge of State of Emergency Proclamation Board, in charge of Ethiopian Intelligence Agency as well. So we cannot say that he represents the hardliner Amhara groups in Ethiopia, because he was in support of operation against hardliner Amhara elements like Fano, and he was the first one to call for an operation to dismantle Fano groups. And he was made in charge of this operation. Then he was promoted to the rank of Deputy Prime Minister. He visited Kambolcha 2 days ago, and there he talked about Tigray, TPLF, Raya indirectly. He only talked about disarmament. He said that Tigray will have to implement the Pretoria deal. Pretoria deal calls for disarmament. Tigray forces will have to be disarmed. And then he mentioned law enforcement operation too, that if groups, he was a DASI too, that if groups remain armed, obviously law enforcement operation is the solution. Now, what is wrong with what Temesgen Tiruneh said? I mean, he supported and he led the disarmament operation against Fano, if you remember. And back then, he was accused of being anti-Amhara. But still, he proposed, he backed, and he led the operation against Fano fighters. Now he's proposing the same type of operation against Tigray fighters too, if Tigray fighters remain armed. And PM Abiy also said last week, he said there will be just one army in Ethiopia. No armed groups will be allowed to exist. So Temesgen, in a way, warned TPLF that Tigray fighters will have to be disarmed. Secondly, he addressed Tigrayans too. He said Tigrayans should tell the Tigray fighting groups that the Tigray fighters should not resort to force, they should talk. Implementation of Pretoria deal is the solution, not use of force. So I think that what he said was said in the context of what happened in Raya Alamata Quorum in recent days. Federal government is not happy with Tigray's moves in southern zone. Federal government was hoping that through the movement of Tigray fighters into Raya Alamata, Quorum, etc., Amhara forces will be expelled, Amhara government will be dismantled, and then Tigray forces will return to their mainland Tigray, and END will take full control of Raya. But here, Tigray fighters are in full control of most parts of Raya zone. Federal government not happy. Federal government thinks that Tigray violated the behind-the-scenes deal. I think behind-the-scenes deal was that entry of Tigray fighters was green-lighted by ENDF to scare Amhara militia members, to dismantle Amhara provisional government. But what happened after that was not agreed. And what happened after that is that Tigray fighters took control of large parts of southern zone. And I think by violating the understanding, Tigray now has spoiled its case for western zone. I don't think anyone will allow Tigray fighters to repeat what they have done in Raya, southern zone. It won't happen in Volkai, Humera, Saturday. Tigrayan sources are mad at Temesgen Tiruneh, saying that he has always been against Tigray, and once again, federal government is planning a war on Tigray. It's a declaration of war. But at the root of what Temesgen Tiruneh said is the violation of the under the table understanding between ENDF and Tigray People Liberation Front in southern zone. By the way, several sources, Ethiopian news sources, are claiming that PP and TPLF are on one page. They have reached some background secret understandings. They're talking about merger. PP has decided to give southern western zones to Tigray. I am aware of the reports, but I don't think that the PP and TPLF have agreed about the status of western zone. I don't think PP has agreed to hand over western zone to TPLF. I don't think so. Maybe my sources are limited. I rely more on analysis than on sources, by the way. I think analysis is stronger than sources sometimes. Sources could be misled. Analysis should be based on facts. So my analysis is that there is no deal between Prosperity Party and TPLF about handing over of the western zone to the TPLF. Ererti and Pallaf writes, Sajid, in your honest opinion, who do you think is dragging its feet from implementing Pretoria? Pretoria is ambiguous, if you ask me. Pretoria was not clear. Pretoria did not say clearly what would be the future status of west and southern zones. The two parties interpret Pretoria in different ways. Tigray believes, according to Pretoria, it should get Volkai, Tumarasaga, the southern zone back. Federal government believes that Pretoria means that there should be referendum in the two zones, EN should be in charge, ENDF, etc. So you see, both interpret Pretoria in a different way. Then interpretation of Pretoria about withdrawal of non-ENDF forces, again different. Tigray wants withdrawal of aerial military too from Badme, from the Lambasa, etc., in which federal government is not interested. So here, federal government and TPLF are not on one page. So Pretoria was not clear, I would say. That is why both parties have their positions. Both are dragging their feet. Why? Because both interpret Pretoria differently. Darni says Fano started the conflict to protect Raya from TPLF. Now they are not even trying. Yeah, they were part of the military operation when Mahara forces retook Raya in 2022. Now they are focused on Addis Ababa. They say their enemy number one is Amhara PP. That is what Zameen Kasi said 2 days ago. I did a video on that. He said, enemy number one for Fano is Amhara PP. Amhara PP must be destroyed. Amhara PP is definitely led by PM. PM is on top of PP on federal level. So they want to remain focused on the target, and the target is Addis Ababa. Second topic, viewers, divisions within the TPLF. LM is asking about that. 2 days ago, a TPLF leader was interviewed. Ridai Heleform is his name. The interview is available. You can watch that. You can search for his interview. Ridai Heleform confirmed the divisions within the TPLF. And divisions are based on the territories from where leaders are. Adwa, TPLF, Temesgen TPLF, and Enderta TPLF, and Raya TPLF. All TPLF leaders are not from one zone, obviously. Getachew is from Raya, I think. I think the Bratzian is from Adwa. There are people from Tambian too, and Dirt as well. Tambian is not heavily represented, I think, if I'm not wrong. The main leadership has been from Adwa, but Adwa and Dirta conflict has been ongoing. Who is pure Tigrayan? Who is true Tigrayan? In the TPLF leaders from Enderta, from Tambian, from Raya, from Adwa. The Heliform confirm that some Tigrayans, part of TPLF, leaders, members, their identity as Tigrayans is doubted just because they're not from a particular area. Obviously, he was talking about that Adwa, non-Adwa divisions in TPLF. Divisions are still there. Just like in Oromia, Shoa Oromos, Wellega Oromos, RC Oromos. In Amhara, there are Gondar Amharas, Gojam Amharas, Wollo Amharas. Gondar Amharas say they are real Amharas, true Amharas. Then in Oromia as well, so in Tigray as well, we are seeing that the divisions are there. Confirmation is not coming from anti-Tigray elements. No. The interviewee is a senior TPLF leader. So we don't need confirmation from other sources. But diversity is beauty of political culture. If diversity is accepted and people are given equal treatment, then diversity becomes a beauty because people from different walks of life, different areas, different backgrounds, they share their ideas, all then hold discussions and they agree on the best, which is the best for people. In TPLF, yes, people from one area, leadership from one area has been dominated. This dominance is in danger, it seems. Adwa dominance is in danger. Alim is sidelined, I think. Alim is the part of old TPLF ruling elite, sidelined. Getachew from Ra is a new phenomena from Raya. So there are bound to be issues. But Rada Reform said there are no difference between Tigray interim government and TPLF, and they are the same, and they are all are gelling in, and issues will be resolved, and the people should be careful. They should not use any bad words against each other, bad words like banda, etc. That is what he said. So issues, but let's hope that TPLF manages to find solutions. Average Dom says, the quality of your work exceeds standards. I wonder if you have group of people working for you. I'm talking to you, Average Dom. That is what I do. That is what I do all day. I talk to people. Hundreds of people send me messages, mails. I learn from them. I get translations. I ask questions. I get answers. They ask questions. I give answers. So that is how I have learned. Still learning from you people. How is the Fano merger being received? LM Gazao says. Well, interesting point, LM. We did not touch on that point yesterday, that what the significance of this merger about in relation to what is happening in Rala, Mata, Koram, etc. Are Wollo-based Fano groups uniting because they might have to intervene in southern zone? It could be one of the reasons behind this merger, and I think Wollo Fano could be very strong in coming days, by the way. Why? Because those Amhara Fano militias who were expelled from Southern Zone, Ral, Amata, Koram, where are they? They're in Wollo. They are joining Fano. You see that Mere Wadaju Fano group, Colonel Fantahun group, and thousands of Fano fighters from Southern Zone. They're uniting. Wollo Fano is going to turn into a big force. You'll see that. If it is properly managed, it can be managed, by the way, by that colonel. He has the potential, he has the experience. Wollo Fano could be a formidable force. You'll see that if there is proper organizational setup established. And this formidable force could be a threat to Tigray fighters. If Wollo Fano decides to intervene in the zone, it would be a huge development. So far, its focus is on Addis Ababa. But maybe in future, we never know what will happen in future. Hilo says, Sajid, can you analyze someday in Ethiopia in these 6 years how many people died? Ali Sheikh Atta says, Sajid, be concerned with your corrupt Pakistani government. I don't want to cover Pakistan. Why do you want to force me to cover Pakistan? You can cover Pakistan. I'll be your viewers. I'll be your viewer. Can you do that? Alex forever says, I'm tired of war and tired of the stupidity and lack of remorse on the losses. But sadly, peace cannot be built on the soil of injustice with selfish and cruel minds. Yeah, you're right. Peace. What is the foundation of peace? Forgiveness can be foundation of peace if forgiveness is sincere, if remorse is sincere, if regret is sincere. Obviously, it can be basis for peace. But can we say that Ethiopian federal government believes that the launching of war on Tigray was a bad decision? It led to so many casualties and people died. No. Well, government says it was Tigray's mistake. Tigray suffered. Tigray will suffer more if it doesn't learn. What does Tigray say? Is it showing any remorse, any guilt? No. It accuses the federal government. It accuses the prime minister. So that lesson learning is not there. No one held accountable. Who started the war? Who was responsible? We don't know. Still, both are accusing each other. How can this silencing of gun deal be basis for long-term peace? Yes, gun silenced, but long-term peace cannot be found. It can only be found through real constructive deals. What happened in South Africa maybe can serve as a model. True reconciliation, truth and reconciliation. But Ethiopia has not managed to lay down the foundation for lay out the foundation for real and lasting peace. Still issues between Tigray and Amhara, Amhara and Oromo, Tigray and Eritrea, Ethiopia and Sudan. Lots of issues. I can go on and on. Optamo says, Sajid, by my analysis, Gojam Fano still has hidden power to exploit. The main is just PR in power. Yeah, I told you that Zamine is the face of Fano, Gojam Fano, Merevodojo, face of East Amhara Fano, because these people have been leading Fano for years. But the operations are being launched, are being planned, are being led by seasoned military officers, officers of Amhara Special Force, both in Gojam and now in Wollo as well. Varse joined to be better. Will Gondar and Shoa unite like Wollo and Gojam? Gondar is the most difficult challenge for Fano groups to unite. Shoa will unite, I think. Shoa, there are no major differences there. Shoa can unite. And Shoa, by the way, has shown very its ability to survive. It has been, it's close to Romania. ENDF has launched several operations there, but Shoa has managed to survive. I think Shoa will unite. Skandar is also a player there now in Shoa. He has found brigade there. Skandar, Asagad McConnell, Mekatao, three main players there. Gondar is a little bit complicated, though some progress has been made, but let's see. Come on, open mind says Eritrean opposition groups attacking pro-Eritrean groups. Whenever I did a video about Brigade Nihamedo disrupting festivals, I always said that Brigade Nihamedo disrupted the festival. Problem is that you want me to condemn Brigade Nihamedo. You want me to support Eritrean government programs. That is not what my job is. I just report. I'm not here to condemn people, to condemn developments. I just tell what is happening. I told you. Still, I think just yesterday I said that all the attacks on festivals were carried out, were initiated by Brigadier Hamid. But you want me to take a pro-Eritrean government position, to appreciate Isaias Afwerki, to say that he is the greatest leader of all times in Africa and he has worked wonders in Eritrea, and Eritreans living the lives which are the happiest, and the world should learn from Isaias Afwerki, and that Africa needs to learn. That propaganda cannot be spread through my vision news. I only cover developments, reports, things as they happen, I share with you. Someone is saying, okay, 500,000. I thought you wrote 50,000. You think Fano can raise 500,000 army? I don't know. I don't know. Who will pay, by the way? Who will pay for the 500,000 people? 500,000 paid people. Fano fighters are paid. Their families are taken care of. That is how they become part of the struggle. They are offered money. They are offered support for their families. So how can you raise an army of 500,000? I think if there is an army of even more than 100,000, it would be a big army. I don't know. Zamina said there are 400,000 Fanos. Maybe he's counting all the people who support Fano internally in their hearts. But 400,000 is an exaggerated number. Viewers, 40 minutes have passed. I think we should end this live chat session. I tried to reply. I tried to answer your questions too and respond to your comments as well. Thank you for watching. We covered two topics. Temesgen Tiruneh called for disarmament of Tigray fighters, otherwise operation could be launched. Like an operation is underway in Amhara, it does not mean that it's a declaration of war on Tigray. That is what is being claimed, but Tigray sources as if Temesgen declared war on Tigray. No, he just talked about operation to disarm or Tigray fighters. Secondly, TPLF divisions, internal divisions continuing in Dirta, Tambian, Adwa, Raya elites. Still, uh, they are not in agreement. There are issues confirmed by Ridha Haliform, one senior TPLF leader. Thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. Stay blessed, stay safe. Till tomorrow. Bye bye.